All right, so ladies and gentlemen, really happy to have you today. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through like the 3 keys to instantaneously fix your email marketing deliverability for your e-commerce brands. And yeah, I think that this picture really like given a good insight of what we're going to discuss. So as you can see, there is like these people like having fun just behind the security guard. And you can consider that it's like your competitor inside your customer's inbox, right? You want to go to the party, but fortunately, this guy is not really happy with that. And that's basically what we will explain in this video, right? That's the core concept, how you can like get into the party. So that's the same strategy that we have been using for, like one of my clients that had like a 5% open rate, and they couldn't really figure out why and how to fix it. And what we could do is basically get them back to the safe zone, right? Which is like above a 20%. And we did that in less than 30 days, right? And they could generate tons of profit with email marketing, as simple as that. So before we dive in, I just wanted like to discuss about like who is this presentation for. And if you are the owner or the CEO of an e-commerce brand and you want to grow and scale the business and become a highly successful 7-figure brand, then this is seriously going to help you. If you understand how email marketing becomes more and more important as advertising costs are rising over month, but you can't figure out why your open rate isn't high enough, why people are unsubscribing, why your email are not landing in the inbox of your customer, but the spam box, then the video is the cure. So maybe you're just starting with email marketing and you don't want to screw everything up. Maybe you have either disappointing results or you wonder what are the first steps that you should take to make sure that you have a solid backend and generate tons of profit. Then stick around. And if you suspect that there is like a simple process that needs to happen to make sure that the emails are delivered, then again, I'm going to seriously deliver like high value that will really help you. And of course, this is also for agency owners, right? That want to make sure that the customers are set up properly before they start to send high volumes of email. Now, what can you do? So one thing is sure, to generate a lot of profits with the e-commerce brand, you need to solve your backend loyalty system. That's the first piece, right? It's even before conversion rate and optimization, I'd say, and paid traffic. So the thing is, by solving your backend loyalty system, you will make sure that you bring a lot of repeat purchases and ensure also that your emails are delivered into your customer's inbox. And according to our research, case studies, and results, the best way to do that is by setting up properly your foundation and warming up properly your domain, sending emails to engage people to your list so the deliverability is on point. And that's super important, right? You want to make sure that your deliverability is on point before sending high volumes of email. But however, and here is the thing, like most brands aren't profitable because they start to, like send email before having like a good deliverability, right? They have deliverability issues and the customer don't receive their emails. So this is the key concept. And if you don't know how to get your deliverability on point, just stick around and I will explain everything, right? So now, who else is using this strategy? So this is the same strategy that we have been implementing for Sleeping Baby, The Ori, Cousin Travel, Little Birnie, Little Joe Woman, and many more brands, right? So who are we and what makes us qualified? So we've been helping like dozens of e-commerce brands since the beginning, and the system that we've developed over the years are like, they have been like refined like crazy, right? So we have been working with huge brands and some of them backed by entities like Shark Tanks, Dragon's Dens, and so on. And we've generated multiple millions so far for our clients since the beginning with email marketing. Now, here is the first step that you have to do. So the first thing is to set up your dedicated sending domain and get your domain authenticated. So here's what happened. Most e-commerce brands start with email marketing by sending emails straight and often overlook things like domain authentication and setting up a dedicated sending domain. But here's the thing, right? When you don't do that, you're using what we call like a shared sending domain, which are domain that contains a root domain that is shared among like multiple Klaviyo accounts, right? And the thing is, it can affect the reputation if like someone is like a bad sender, even if it's not you, right? But someone is just like sending, really bad quality emails, it can affect your own deliverability. And what it leads to basically like lower open rates, and email that can end up in spam, low purchase conversion rate, because like basically your customer don't see your emails, right? So it affects the overall results that you can get from email marketing. And to build like a successful e-commerce brand, so you need a good backend foundation before sending high volume of emails, right? And this is done by integrating basically probably your email service provider, so ESP, and making sure that you're authenticated and you control your sending domain reputation. And that way you can make sure that when you send high volume of emails, you have like more chance to end up in your customer's inbox. Basically like being the party. And dedicated sending domain, use the root domain of a business instead of a root domain supplied by Klaviyo. Right, and here I have like a quick picture of what does it look like when you're sending up. So I will try to zoom in, like a dedicated sending domain, right? So it's something that you can do like inside the settings of Klaviyo. If you go in domain and hosting, Klaviyo will walk you through how you can set up the dedicated sending domain. So by doing that, I think that will happen is that you will have higher open rate, you will end up in your customer's inbox, you will also have like a higher purchase conversion rate, and finally make email marketing work for you, right? So super important to remember here, profits are generated in the backend for e-commerce brands, right? That's one thing. And the second thing is that, when you set up the dedicated sending domain, the thing is you will be able to have like a better control over your business and your email marketing reputation in general, right? So it's super important to do this before sending any email, as I mentioned before, right? So here is a quick example of what you can like expect, right? So as you can see, like 34% open rate, 1.25 click-through rate, which can be like still improved, right? But it's going up currently. And yeah, so some revenue that is coming from the emails, right? But the thing is, this brand have healthy KPIs. The reason being that they have like a dedicated sending domain that is set up, right? So now, why having a dedicated sending infrastructure is important. So in the world of email marketing, your sending infrastructure is very important. Inbox providers like Google and Hotmail determine whether to block, filter, or deliver your email based on the reputation of your sending infrastructure. So the potential negative of using a shared sending domain is that the reputation among each inbox provider can be influenced by other senders, right? And the benefits of using a dedicated sending domain is that only one sender has the impact of the reputation. However, it can also be, a potential drawback if you're doing something that is not good, right? Now, what to expect? So you need to understand that using the sending domain, right, the dedicated sending domain is not like an overnight fix. It takes time, right, to fix the deliverability issues. So that's something that's like an investment, right? And as you continue to invest and acquire quality subscribers and removing like unengaged people, you will see that the deliverability of your domain will just increase little by little. And that's a good, strategy to basically get inside the inbox of your customers and make sure that your competitors don't have like a huge edge against you. As simple as that. What will it change? So just to make it like super simple, as you can see on this picture, you have like the via Klaviyo mail.com, and each time that you're sending using a shared domain, you will have this via Klaviyo that is also visible by your customers. But when you're sending from your own domain, this will be removed because you will be, basically sending from the address of your domain, right? So that's the change that you can observe once you're set up properly. Step 2, warm up your account by running only high engagement flows for 3 to 7 days. And most brands, even successful ones, make often the mistake of running, a lot of flows when they start email marketing. And the thing is, they also run flows that have like low engagement rate. And this is, however, detrimental to these brands, as the inbox provider understand that customers aren't that interested in receiving your emails. So they have like low open rates, it's detrimental for deliverability. They can end up in spam, conversion rate from the email are lower, lesser revenue generated, and so on and so forth, lower CLV, and so on. But the thing is that you want to warm up your sending infrastructure in the first 2 weeks after setting up your dedicated sending domain. That's what you want to do. And this process involves limiting sending to only the most engaged subscribers, sending just like, some of the flows, not all, but I will go through that after that. And the goal is really to make sure that the email, the inbox provider see you as a good sender, right? And it will strengthen your reputation. And you will get, using that, you will basically get like high open rates, healthy KPI, good sending reputation, and, more profit over the long term. So warming your infrastructure during the first 2 weeks after setting up your dedicated sending domain will lead to high open rates, healthy KPIs, good sending reputation, more profits in the long term, and so on and so forth, right? I repeat myself, but that's super important. And what you can see here on this picture is, for example, like one brand that we have been working with. So it's probably not that clear. I will try to zoom in here. But they are doing like 24% revenue, 8 coming from the flows, 16 for the campaigns. And if you want to get to this, 20 to 30% range, I would say, it's really important that you make sure that your sending reputation is on point, right? As you can see here, in 90 days, like it's $360,000, which is good. But I digress. Now, what are the flows that I need to warm up my domain? So you want to turn on high engagement flows. And there is three types of flows that typically see, high engagement. And these flows are the welcome series abandonment card and the browse abandonment, right? So return abandonment card is a quick mistake here. Is like the abandonment checkout, but Klaviyo calls that an abandonment card. It's fine. And when should I turn this flow live, and for how long? So we recommend turning this flow live during the first day, when you start to use your sending dedicated domain, and to run them for 3 to 7 days before sending campaigns, depending on the sending volume of the flows alone. Of course, if you send like just one email with the flows, I'd say that you need to run them for probably like a bit more time. I'm already sending a lot of emails. What should I do? So if you are already sending a lot of email, and you normally send win-back or re-engagement flows, turn this off during the first couple of weeks of warm-up. And also refrain from sending campaign larger than 10,000 recipients in the first weeks. So it's crucial that you maintain high engagement, and you don't want to use like low-performing flows or campaigns to damage your sending reputation. So when can I start sending manual campaigns? So after your first week of high engagement with the flows, you can start to send campaigns. Just make sure that you monitor the deliverability and maintain high engagement with your emails. All right, so step 3, sending engaging content in your campaign to highly engaged segments. And a lot of brands have just a poor or inexistent segmentation in their list, and they are sending campaign using the blast method. So that's generally just sending emails to the entire list, sending like 1 to 4 emails per month, and they hope that they will have, an impact and get sales and make, good revenue with email marketing. However, blasting your list is a thing of the past. And this leads to generally low open rate, low resonance, people upset, high placements in spam, handing in email jail. And it's also resulting in poor revenue generated through email marketing, right? So what you want to do instead, right? So once your engagement flows have been live for a week, you want to ensure that you have accurate engagement data in your account, right? So you can begin periodically sending campaigns to engage segments, right? And sending to a highly engaged segment over time will really help to prevent any one-off email send that would perform poorly and that could damage your deliverability. So after the first send, a rule of thumb is to aim for open rates above 25% or higher and subscribe rate lesser than 0.2% and spam complaint lesser than 0.05%, right? And here I have like a quick chart that I really like resume everything. So that's something that I took from Klaviyo, right? So give the credit to the one that deserves that. But yeah, basically we'll really give you like a really good idea of what you need to aim for, right? So by doing that, by sending the campaigns when you're warmed up and by sending the campaigns to the right segments and so on, you will improve your deliverability. You will have higher open rates, of course, healthy KPIs in general. You'll be able to send traffic without any ad spend and squeeze even more profit from your list and your prospects and customers, right? And you will end up with a next level profitable brand. Sending to high engaged segment over time will improve your deliverability, as I mentioned, help you squeeze even more profit and lead to a highly profitable brand. And here you have an example, right? And I need to zoom in. Same thing. So as you can see, that's the brand that I showed you before. But yeah, there is like some good revenue that is coming from email marketing. which is really good, the campaigns. Now, how often should I send campaign out? So the best is to start with 1 per week and to ramp up the volume based on your KPIs. So if you have like good open rates, click rate, and people purchasing, then increase to 2 to 3 weekly, and always like monitor the deliverability and the results that basically you are getting with the campaigns, right? Here, don't forget, there is like this chart that you can use to compare your KPIs and see where you are, right? How can I improve the segmentation of my list? So the best way is to start by segmenting by engagement. So create a 30 days, 60 days, 90 days and above, right? And the goal is really like to start with 30 days, see how it goes with the deliverability, and increase as you have good deliverability, right? So let's say, for example, you send your first email to the 30 days, you have a 20% plus, right? So for the next email, I would recommend you to target the 60 days engaged, right? Because you will have like a larger pool of people that you will reaching out to. But as long as you have like really good KPIs for the first one, this is something that you can try. And eventually for 60 days, you will just also have like good KPIs, so you will move to 90 days. But if it's not the case, I would suggest that you stay in 30 days until you get good KPIs. Again, just have to look the chart above. And when that's the case, then you can move forward. And the goal is really to find a balance between like the pool of people that you're reaching out to, but also like the KPIs that needs to be good, right? So the best scenario is that you're reaching out to the entire list and you have like, crazy numbers. But yeah, so I think that you get the point. So what are some of the campaigns that you could recommend me to send? So, well, this is something that is tailored to each brand, but just to give you some ideas, you can have like blog campaigns, product launch campaigns, product and collection features, feedback campaign. You can have like flash sales, holidays. You can have like surveys as well, right? It's always good to get to know more your customers. There is like a lot of other ideas, right? But with that, you already have a good start. How far ahead do you recommend creating a content calendar? So, well, the best is to have a content calendar for 2 months, I think. And that's what we do at the agency. And the reason being that then you need to have time to be able to craft everything. And it's also good to see, with a, broader type of view, like, high level type of view, what are the different types of campaigns that you have like during the month. So you make sure that you don't have sales, or just like content, right? You want to have like a mix of everything. But yeah, 2 months is a good range, I think, to be able to, craft the copies, craft the designs, do revisions, and so on. So what are the other ways to ensure that I improve my deliverability with my campaigns? So beside simply monitoring your unengaged subscribers, it's really important to try to re-engage people. So what are other ways that to ensure that I improve my deliverability with campaigns? So besides simply monitoring your unengaged subscribers, it's important to regularly try to re-engage these people, or even completely remove them from your list. So a regular list cleaning is really important, and that will really ensure that you're contacting just the people who want to hear from you and help you to maintain like a strong reputation.